Welcome back, guys. Today I will be doing a review of the Bentley Mulsanne in the scale 1/18th made by Rastar. I doubt many of you have heard of the brand Rastar. It's, I believe, a Chinese company. They also make a few 1/24 scales, and they make Bugatti Veyron Super Sports in 1/18th scale as well. This isn't like some cheap Chinese car like many believe it is. It's actually a very nice model, especially when you consider the price. There are a few minor quality issues, and I'll discuss those in this video. But let's start this review off with the front end. Here we can see the headlights. Camera will focus. Alright, here we go. Here we can see the headlights with the multiple inlets for the LEDs, and the side lights with the LED light. Again, these vents right here, well, from a distance they don't appear to be perforated. They actually are when you get up close. However, the grain or texture, whatever you want to call it, it's just a little too large. Down here it's obviously perforated. Up here, you really can't tell, but it actually is perforated. And then we have the Bentley license plate, and then the Bentley logo. It's, I believe, printed on a chrome piece of plastic. It would have been nice had they just printed it on the car, or done finer metal work, because it is a little too thick. Here we can see the wheels, which are done really well, with the Bentley logo inside of it, whatnot. The only thing, my only complaint is A, it says Rastar on the side of it, and B is you can see the tires are just like almost like off-road tires as opposed to performance tires or road tires. They're just a little bit too chunky or knobby. But one thing I do like, as you can see, is it's got full steering lock. Most cars only go like or there, but this one has full steering lock. So I love that. And then you can see the signature Bentley vent right there. And then the paintwork is really nice all across. The paintwork, I don't believe there to be really any major imperfections, or really even minor imperfections for that matter. Door mirrors are a little cheap. They're just plastic with some silver printed on them. We continue along the side. You got this chrome stripe. Then door handles, which are done in chrome. All four doors open. And then you can see the chrome stripe here as well. My only complaint is that it's a little cheap looking. But then again, this is what you would consider to be a budget model. Also, it does have sealed windows. And then the chrome stripe continues all around. Hold on just a second. Okay, here we can see the rear tail lights, which are done decently well. They have a nice little small thin chrome surround on the outside. And then here we have chrome piece, the Bentley plate, and then the rear badge. Again, the rear badge is a little too thick. Here we can see the backup sensors, and then the exhaust. The exhaust are a bit cheaply done. I don't believe there's any black in the center. What you see there is just a shadow. However, it's not a big deal. Paintwork is all finely done. So that's basically the exterior of it. Not much to see on the roof or the hood. And then the underside is decently well done. It's got nice coloration. It's not like shiny chrome or whatever you might find in alloy. It's actually matte colored. And as you can see, the suspension here set up, it's got the spring suspension, but it looks a whole lot more complex, like the actual suspension of the car. So I'd say the underside of the car is really well done. Now, to most people, that doesn't matter as much. What they're getting this car for is the interior. Before we move on to that, I'll show you some of the features. One, it does have a little bit of suspension to it. Not much. It does sit quite well with the gap between wheels. This is not true for some of Rastar's other cars where they just sit too high. So, we'll start off, I guess we'll start with the trunk. Also, before we start out, I would like to point out, it does come with this little tool. So hold on just a second while I get this trunk opened up. Okay, it's not too hard to open up. I just want to do that for better for camera quality. As you can see here, it does have carpeting inside the trunk. It also, as you can kind of see on my tool how it sparkles, the carpeting, it does sort of shed. And then it's got the chrome load sill right there. It's just simple hinges, nothing too fancy. But it does look really good. As you can see, it just opens and closes quite nicely, and then makes a very satisfying sound. As far as the engine goes, it's a little disappointing. It does have a button underneath, so you can kind of release it, and then you take one of your tools, or fingernails if you have some, and then just pry it up a little bit. Hold on, just let's see. Hold on just a second while I get the camera focused. Okay, here we go. Here we can see the engine in a little bit better detail. It is a bit underwhelming. Here we have some nice venting, it's just a chrome piece. But the engine itself, the Bentley printed on the side of it is really bad. And then it's supposed to have the name of the person who made the engine right here, however they don't have that. It's more of like a Maisto level engine. The rest of the car is very nice, almost Norev-ish. But then when you get to, then you hit the engine and it's just like, wow, I can see where they cut their corner for the price. Here's where the model truly shines, the interior. As you can see, the floor is carpeted like the trunk, but then you can see the doors and then the rear vents right there, and then the seats, all of it's just really, really well done. And so I'm very glad that Rastar did this part of the car well. It's, I would say, the most important part, because the Mulsanne is truly luxurious and car, but according to Consumer Reports, the best interior on the market right now. Here you can see the door with the wood type trim on it. I believe it's just mostly like brown paint, so not necessarily spectacularly done, but it is very nice nonetheless. And then you can see the speakers in the door right there. Then there's the rear seats. Kind of hard to see. It does have cloth seat belts. But then, hold on just a second while I get the... Nope, never mind. Camera's focusing. Again, we have the carpet, but then we can also see little things like the power seat buttons, and then the vents in the dash, and then all the buttons in the dashboard. They're just done so well. And then you can see the steering wheel and the gauges. It's just done fantastically, especially when you consider the price of this model. Hold on just a second. So now for my final thoughts. It's a great car. However, it is a bit hard to find, especially if you live in the United States. I got mine off AmericanExcellence.com for, I believe the car itself was $42, and then their $10 flat rate shipping. That is just a phenomenal price for what you get. I mean, $52 shipped is really, really good for the level